I thought I'd get ahead of the Christmas rush. You can never be ready for Christmas too soon. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to my weekly vlog for June the 27th, 2022, vlog number 269, 839th day of COVID. And yes, my name is Stephen, and I am the host of Bland Designs and the Idiot Quilter. Little different opening. Yeah, mainly because I forgot how I did it. Short-term memory, not good. Okay, so let's jump right into what I was doing, and I used this as a bit of a teaser at the beginning of today's vlog. So I thought I'd show you what I've been doing. Christmas table runners. Yes, you're going to say it's only the end of June. It's 6 months until Christmas. Well, we know how time flies when you're having fun, right? And I thought I'd get on with these. And actually, this is a good little project for cleaning out your creative palette as well, because these are pretty easy to make. And they're all the same pattern, with the exception of the one on the far left of your screen that's partially hidden under the white and red stars. These are all the same pattern, but I laid them out a little bit differently. The one over at the far end on the right hand side looks a little bizarre in this picture. It looks like it's unfinished, but basically I used two different colors of borders on that. It looks different in real life, but they're all kind of pretty. And I'm working on, there's 5 of those there. I've got a 6th one I'm going to put together today, and then I'm going to probably stop making table runners and maybe start on another Christmas project, a bigger quilt. Maybe. We'll see. My idea with these is to throw them onto Lucy and do the quilting all in one fell swoop. It'll just be edge to edge design, and these will all be on Lucy like they were one continuous quilt. So that's my plan, and we'll see how that works out. Okay, so that takes us to the YouTube channel of the week. And as you are pretty much aware, because I haven't stopped talking about it, I bought a new computer. I did buy a MacBook Pro, a very expensive one, and also a very sophisticated one, I guess you would say. You know, in for a penny and for a pound, might as well, right? So I'm still learning it, but I'm getting more comfortable with it every day. And I have also discovered, well, didn't really discover, I knew it was there, but I didn't really have that much interest in it before when I was running primarily a PC computer. But Apple has their own YouTube channel, and there is more there than just telling you how to do different things on a Mac computer or on your iPad. It also has documentaries about Steve Jobs, about the operating systems, about Apple's history, things like that, which I found kind of interesting to listen to, because Apple is a very unique business in the computer world, and they have been very, very successful. But by watching some of these documentaries that are there, you find out just how much how their success was really dependent upon many of their failures that we never ever really heard about. But anyways, there's lots there to see, and here's my review of that YouTube channel. This week's YouTube channel is called Apple Explained, and I think the title is self-explanatory. It's everything you want to know about Apple and then some. So you can see here right on their first page, you have things about the new iPhones coming out, the new iOS operating systems. There's a whole section that's looking at styluses as well, and the history of the iPhone. If we go to their video list, we'll see a few other things here. They're talking about why MacBooks don't have a touchscreen, why Apple discontinued the iPod, why iPhones have a silent switch, why Apple products say designed in California, etc. So lots and lots of things here about Apple products and about the history of some of these products. You can see here there's a playlist just devoted to histories. And if we go to the full playlist, you can see the kind of things that they have here. So really, this is a very informative site. I find it very interesting since I have been an iPad, an iWatch, an iPhone, and now a Mac user. This really I find helpful, but more so just very interesting about the various innovations these products have had over the time that Apple has been producing them. So if you're all about Apple or Mac products, I suggest you check out Apple Explained. So you'll find a link for that in the show notes below. You'll also find a link for the latest Stephen and Walter Live, and we talked about why we don't go to the Pride Parade, or as we like to call it, the Freak Show. And you'll hear all about that with some other stories. Another story about our new dishwasher, or the saga of the new dishwasher, because nothing in my life ever happens in a simple manner, but more about that later on. You'll also find a link to the Idiot Quilter, episode 172, Christmas again, and the Idiot Quilter presents Making Binding with Gadgets. Now, I posted that last week, so you may have seen it last week, but it's there again if you haven't. And So Chatty, episode 64, Mystery Quilt, not what you're thinking. So they're all up there for you to check out. Also, there is a link for the next Craft and Chat. And you know I do those the first Wednesday of every month. So we're not at the first Wednesday of the month yet, but we will be very shortly, like next week. So falls July the 6th, I believe is the date. So that's where we can get together and work on whatever we're working on for a few hours and have, friendly conversation. And it's very motivating. So I hope you can join us. Those of you that are on my mailing list, you'll probably get an email at the end of this week with the Zoom link in it. But for any of you that aren't on my mailing list, not a problem. Zoom link is in the show notes below, and you're welcome to come and go as you please. So do think about it. If you're free, if you don't have a nasty job getting in your way, then join us. Okay, and there's also a blurb about the International Stitch Marathon happening on July the 22nd. You've heard me talk about that on every video in the last month, pretty much. And all the links for that are in the show notes as well. So that takes me to looking out my window today. Let's take a look. And that's what the day is looking like. Sun is coming up. Got up a little later this morning because it's moving on to almost 8 o'clock now. And usually I'm doing this vlog on a Monday at, around 7-ish. But I did take this picture at 7:36 this morning, looking out my front window. And yeah, looks like it's going to be a really nice day. I'm not sure what the temperature is right now. 17 degrees, and it says the high is going to be 22. So that is warm, but not hot at all, but pleasant, just very pleasant. In fact, we've had several pleasant evenings as well where we ate al fresco. We ate out on our deck. Now, we hardly ever go out on our deck. We have our barbecue there. There is a table out there. That's where we have our container garden as well. And my God, the lettuce is coming out of our ears right now. Quick, we need a bunny. We gave some lettuce to the neighbors yesterday, and there's another neighbor down the road who works at a, well, for lack of a better term, soup kitchen kind of a thing. So we're going to take some down to her, see if, she wants to, if it would be of any use, to take it to the soup kitchen. But anyways, yeah, it all comes on at once. And we'll have lettuce throughout the summer because as we pull up a head or two, Walter plants more seeds, and they do germinate and grow very, very fast. Our cherry tomatoes, they're coming along nice. I think we're going to have a good crop this year. Lots of flowers, and there are some little green tomatoes already on those plants. I'm trying to find my words this morning. So it's all looking good, and we even have a couple of green peppers coming on. We tried to grow peppers last year and didn't have a lot of luck. I don't know how big they're going to get. They take a while. This one's actually a plant that Walter bought at a nursery. So that's why they're coming on now. But he also planted some with seeds, and they're just peeking their little heads up out of the ground now. So I don't know what luck we'll have with that. And our herbs are doing really, really well. Like we have basil coming out of the yin yang, basil and rosemary and tarragon and parsley and oregano, lemongrass, chives. I think I covered everybody that's out there. So yeah, and I like to take all of those and I like to throw them into salads. Um, I just love basil in a salad. It just gives you it's a surprise, when you get a little piece of basil in your salad, you go, "Oh, what was this?" And I throw in some oregano too. Fresh herbs, there's nothing like them, really. And actually, I'm doing a little experiment. I took a couple of clippings from my basil and from my oregano and from my rosemary, and I'm trying to see if I can root them. And my idea is to get enough roots on them and climatize for them being inside the house, plant them, and maybe I can have some herbs in the winter. I actually brought in last summer one of the basil plants, and I might do that again, and it lasted pretty much up into the spring. It's outside now, and in parts of it, it's resprouting again. Um, Although there's a lot of dead stems in the pot. I should cut those back because they're probably zapping some of the strength out of the new growth. But I'm going to try this and see what happens. I don't know. I watched Atomic Shrimp. This what gave me the idea. Atomic Shrimp is a guy on YouTube that has a very interesting channel, and I've reviewed it before. And he did a little experiment. He got some basil or basil, however you want to say it, from a grocery store, a fresh cut herb from a grocery store. And he's been trying to root it, and it is rooting. It is rooting. So, what the heck? Give it a try. I kind of like growing things indoors. My philodendrons look gorgeous. I must take a picture of those and show that to you on one of the vlogs because these are my COVID philodendrons. We have the mother plant, which we've had for years and years and years. Um, and I just have been taking clippings from it and rooting them. And when I get enough root system on them, I plant them in one of my little 3D printed pots. So I have quite a collection of philodendrons, and they look really neat in my kitchen because they all sit on well, they call it a breakfast bar, but it's more like a breakfast ledge along our counter, and they look really nice. I think they do. They bring in, some freshness, especially nice when you see them in the dead of winter as well. Yeah, I have to remember that for maybe next week, show you a picture of my philodendrons. Maybe take some pictures too of our container garden. Anyways, I don't know how I got on all that. I guess it was because I was looking out at the nice sunny weather that we're having today. Okay, so what's that take me to next? Turn over the page. What's pissing me off? Well, this is related to what I'm going to talk about in a few minutes, but we did buy a new dishwasher. Why? Because our other one blew up last week. Yeah, it blew up. Well, the motor burned out of it, or the pump, something, because I woke up in the night. Well, not in the night, but for me, it's night. For Walter, he's still up. But I said, "What's that smell?" It smelled like melting plastic. Now, on dishwashers, there is, if you're putting in Tupperware, some of the plastic lids, if for some reason the force of the water throws it down to the bottom of your dishwasher, and if you have a heating coil in there, as we did in our old one, the plastic may melt, and it gives off that melted plastic. But we looked inside the dishwasher, and that was not the case, but I could still smell it really strong. And then I realized, oh, that's electrical burn. Yes, that's, I should have known that right off the bat. I grew up in a house full of electricians, um, you know, but anyways, so Walter turned off the power. We took a look at it and went, yep, it's toast. Now, we've been having trouble with that dishwasher for a while. As you know, it rattles about and everything like that. Um, so yeah, it was time. So off we went to buy a new dishwasher. We got a Bosch this time. We had a KitchenAid, but KitchenAids were made by Whirlpool, and Whirlpool products are not what they used to be. It's all built-in obsolescence, really. We've lived in this house for 27 years. This is our fourth dishwasher in 27 years. So basically averaging about 6.85 years per dishwasher. Now, we're not hard on our appliances. Okay, we look after things. But they just decide they're going to go. And to have someone come in and fix them, well, you might as well buy a new one. Because by the time you're done with any parts, if they can get the right parts for them, that's the other thing. You buy these new appliances, and very soon, any parts that are needed to replace them, you can't get them because they changed the design, or they just don't make those anymore. Discontinued the appliance even though you've had it for less than a year. All those kinds of things. And that's planned. And that's what I call planned obsolescence. And I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. Um, you know, at the risk of sounding like one of those old geezers who says, in my day, I remember when. Well, I do remember when you used to buy a major kitchen appliance like a dishwasher, refrigerator, a stove, or you bought a washer and a dryer. Those suckers would last forever. And I know of people who have a washer and dryer that they've had for over 30 years, and they're still working fine. Never gave them a day's worry. Yet you buy something brand new, and it doesn't matter whether you buy the cheap ones or the top of the line ones, you're going to have a problem with it just at the time when the warranty wears out. And on appliances, they only give you a 1-year warranty if you get that. So that tells you something right there. If the company only has a 1-year warranty on it, and they're always a limited warranty, basically they don't cover anything on them because everything's your fault. So, if that's all they can give you is a 1-year warranty, then they know they're not creating a quality product, but they're charging you a quality price. Oh, yes. So on this new one, the Bosch, well, Walter had done his usual research and said that they had a good review according to Consumer Reports and things like that. So we thought we'd give it a try. And we also bought the extended warranty for it as well. It's an extra 4 years. It only cost $179 for the warranty, extended warranty, but I looked at it. It covers pretty much everything. No deductible. They come in, they put in a new part if it needs a new part. You don't pay for the part, you don't pay for labor. And if they can't fix it, they will give you back all your money, no depreciation, for the dishwasher. So I thought, okay, this sounds pretty good. The proof will be if we ever have to use it. I'm hoping we don't ever have to use it. But there you go. But it's just manufacturers do this to suck us in. Now, there is such a larger issue here than just the fact that every so many years you end up having to invest in a new major appliance and the annoyance of all of that. We have to think about landfill. Where do these old refrigerators, stoves, dishwashers, washing machines go? Do they strip them down? Can they recycle the metal that's in them? I have a feeling there isn't much in those kind of appliances that can be recycled. So there we go. So the manufacturers are contributing to the death of our planet because they don't make things to last. Throwaway, disposable economy, really. So that annoys me as well, that kind of thing is happening. It also annoys me that they make these new appliances extremely complicated because everything's got a computer component in it, right? And you know how computer technology changes like overnight. So when something goes, and this is a popular excuse, oh yeah, the motherboard's gone. You need a new motherboard, and they're like $600. I don't think these technicians, these repair people, can actually repair anything anymore because of that. They have to be a computer technician to know what they're doing. And, your average service repair guy, I don't think is really that well versed in how to fix a computer component. So, and that's on purpose. It's definitely on purpose. Do we really need the computer components in some of these things? Do we need a fridge that has a screen on it so you can see inside the fridge without opening the door? I've been opening the door on a fridge since the day I was born. Pretty much didn't have a problem with it. Sure, it looks cool, but do you need it? It's just one more thing to go wrong on a dishwasher. Tons of settings. Even the cheap dishwashers have tons of settings. They're all governed by a computer in them. Push this button for that, push that button for that. Well, then when your push buttons don't push anymore or don't do what they're supposed to do, what do? You know, there's nothing wrong with a knob. That used to be the way these things came. They had a knob. You turned the knob to a certain setting. It was mechanical. And yes, you can still buy things with knobs on them, but if you look at them very closely, the knob is there, but really it's still just an item that works with a computer motherboard inside of it. So yeah, computers are a great thing. I'm far for me to say they're not, because I use them every day. But sometimes there's just too much of this technology put into these everyday appliances, things that we rely on for our survival. Just too many things for them to go wrong. I don't know. Maybe, you can say, well, wash your dishes by hand. Yeah, but we're spoiled, aren't we? In fact, when we bought the new dishwasher, the lady in the store said, I suppose you want it like real quick. And I said to her, well, the sooner the better, but I can live without a dishwasher for a little while. I mean, just means to have to wash the dishes by hand. But do I enjoy doing that? No, because I'm spoiled. I've been used to having a dishwasher. So yeah. I suppose we could cook on an open fire in the backyard. Yeah, are we going to do that? I don't think so. We need the stove. We really do. Okay. And we rely on all of these modern conveniences. They are a necessity for us in our modern life. And I can't help but think that manufacturers know that. So they know if they make these big ticket appliances and make them so that they're only going to last a couple of years, you are going to go out and you are going to buy a new one because you can't live without it. So they've got us. They've got us by little curlies. All of it. And that annoys me. We have so little control of our own lives and our own worlds from all sources. Could we not be able to control and expect to get good quality from our appliances, especially with what they cost? Apparently, that's too much to hope for. Okay, so 3D corner. Well, I have Gnome Jars, and let me just grab the picture of that. And here are my Gnome Jars. Actually, that's not all of them. I have made 21 of these. Can you say I'm obsessed with Gnome Jars? But I think they're so damn stinking cute. And this is part of my collection of Christmas gifts, potential Christmas gifts. And I'm thinking with these, I can put maybe some Christmas candies in there or something like that. Just a little, gift to give to somebody that you really don't usually give a gift to or something like that. I don't know. But I am obsessed with making these. And as we speak, I've got my last two being made. And then I've got to stop before these things take over. But I do think they're really cute, and they've got lots of uses. Somebody suggested I could make them into a pincushion. Yes, I could. But I have a lot of pin cushions, and I made a lot of those a year ago. As you know, I got obsessed with that. So I'm trying to move on in this world with other little projects. I'm still doing a hunt in the 3D sites, looking for things that would make interesting Christmas gifts or little things for Christmas. Last week I showed you my nutcrackers. That sounds bad. You know what I mean. And my little Christmas trees and things like that. But, have yourself a merry little plastic Christmas, because I have a ton of stuff that I've made in the past year as well, sitting in my Christmas storage area. So how many more of those things do I need, in the house? But anyways, I'm still looking for inspiration for that kind of thing. Like I said, even though it's only June, you got to hit while the iron's hot, because before you know it, yeah, end of November comes and you're scrambling, looking for things to make or try to get things made for Christmas. So yeah, I've been having a gnome good time. Okay, so that takes me to Blast from the Past Trips. This is the continuation. This is part 4. And I think this might be the last part of this one on the Barossa wineries little tour we did in Australia on February 16th, 2018. So here's the next installment of that.
Here we have a monkey crossing. Right there, see? I don't know why. To me, it looks like a couple of monkeys. Had to get that. Waited to get that shot for quite a while. Horse crossing. Bethany. This is Bethany. Guess there are a lot of horses in Bethany if they have a horse crossing. Trees are nice. What winery is it that we're going to right now?
Yalumba, I think.
Yalumba? Well, it's certainly a trek across country here. And what makes this one so special to you?
I don't know. I think I had a nice building on.
Oh, yeah. Same way you should pick wines, Pretty label, love it. It's got to be good wine.
We're here to look at scenery. Right?
Okay.
So,
well, we're seeing a lot of scenery here. Too bad I can't look over the edge there.
Maybe we're close to a lookout. There's a lookout.
Lookout. As we're going up the hill, anyways. Megler Hill. Megler Hill.
Scenic Lookout.
Sculpture Park. Sculpture Park. And we're still going up. And up. And over.
On the wheel, I got slide in and I can see I was moving my head.
Well, don't move your head. Look at the road. I don't think we should go this way. Turn around. Go in there. Oh, maybe not. That's employees. Okay, let that guy get out of the way. Overshot. So there's a bus and car park down there. I think we go to the side. Over there. Yeah. In the wrong spot. We decided that this one didn't look as exciting as Quilter may have thought. So we're not going to stop here. We're going to go to Wolf Blass instead. And that's one of the wine people that we can get some of their wines in our neck of the woods as well.
And just because we can get it there, I'm kind of curious what it looks like.
So that's why we're going. That's a story.
It's closer towards our hold.
And that's a story, and you stick it to it. Well, we have arrived at Wolf Blast, according to the GPS. However, there does not look like there is a winery right
It's
here.
Light Pass Road, Stockwell.
Light Pass Road. Okay, we're going to try this again. So, we finally found Wolf Blast. Excuse me. Sneeze. Something here's making me sneeze. Open today, 10 a.m.
Do you want to go in?
Well, I don't know.
I don't think so.
They're buy their wines anyways.
No, I know.
It's a
I
big
just wanted to see
round
what it was,
building.
big round building.
There it is, big round building. Okay.
Okay, let's
Turn
just
left
figure
on
out
Sturt
where we are.
Highway.
Yeah. Excitement plus. Not. Okay, we're arriving at Maggie
Arriving at
Beer's,
50 Pheasant Farm Road.
as it says, Maggie Beer's farm thing, farm shop that Nairi recommended to us. So we'll see what this is all about. Farm shop, customer parking only. Parking here somewhere. And there's no place to park in here. So there was another arrow pointing another part, so we'll see what that is. We'll come back once we get it. Well, here we are, but we don't know where we are because we have no idea what this is all about. But this will make it a surprise, and we're exploring. It looks like there's a restaurant. Looks like they have cooking classes. Gin classes? Gin classes? Do they mean gin as in the drink, or do they mean gin as in card game? Gin. Maggie's products.
Nature shop.
The Eater, Cooking School, Farm Walk, Pheasant Farm.
Beer Bros.
Okay. To me, it looks more like a restaurant. In cooking school. So I don't know what this is. So it looks like they have dips and things, gourmet stuff, jam.
Paste.
Quince paste. What is that one? Is that quince?
Cabernet paste.
Cabernet paste.
Interesting. It's like an apple butter.
Yeah. No, double dip. It says not to do that. New spoon each tasting. No double dipping, Walter.
No, I do that on the other side.
Yeah, okay. That was the fig. That's kind of nice.
How much is it?
For quite stock is $7.99. There you can get a for $25. You can get a. The problem is we can't take that home.
Why not?
It's food. Yeah. Well, is it worth it?
No, next one.
I mean, it's not unlike we have
No,
stuff
I know.
like this in our own country, all kinds of it. So,
Use some of it, especially last spring. The longer part.
Okay, so that takes me to events in the past week and what's been happening. Well, I already talked about the dishwasher, a little bit more about that yet to come, but in the meantime, the guy who does all the measurements for installing the new doors and windows came on Saturday. I talked a little bit about this on Stephen and Walter Live. He was Ukrainian background, very nice man, but a little bit abrupt in what he was telling us about. And he'd come in and go, "Oh, you have to move this, you have to move that. This is a construction site. You cannot have that stuff there. And no, you do not want that. You want this. This be better for you." And yeah, sorry about my Ukrainian/Russian accent there, but he was very good, very thorough, and yeah. So the next stage is, when are we getting them? Or when are they going to start installing them? Well, I don't know. They said 6 or 8 to 16 weeks. So I'm hoping it is sooner than later. Well, actually, a little later would be better because I can get some more money put aside for this, because we put down a down payment last week, and that was about $7,200. This whole job's going to cost us like $19,000. Which, yeah, a lot of money. But our doors are double doors in the front, and we want to keep double doors. Some of our neighbors have had their doors and windows on the front of their house replaced, and they had the double doors too, and they opted to have a single door and 2 side panels of glass put in. That is a little less expensive to do that kind of thing, but we like the convenience of having the double doors. Like, for example, when the guys came, something in my eye. Yes, I know it's my finger. When they came, they delivered the dishwasher. I could just open up both of those doors, and in they came. They didn't have to do any maneuvering to get through a single door. And we've moved furniture in and out of this house over the years, and those double doors, I can tell you, they are well worth the money we spent on them just for that convenience alone. So yeah, in fact, when the installing guy, or the measurement guy, I don't know what you call him, was here, he said, "Are you sure you want to keep the double doors? Because, you could save some money if you didn't." And we went, "No, we want the double doors. We know it's expensive, but as far as we're concerned, that's definitely something we want. It's worth it." So anyways, so all the measurements have done. I'm assuming that the company has ordered everything that we need, and now we just play the waiting game to see when this is all going to happen. In some ways, I'm not looking forward to it, because when he said that I had to move things, and I knew this already, but down in this room where I'm sitting right now, we're having the windows replaced in it, and yeah, those windows happen to be right next to my secondary sewing machine area and my ironing area. And I have things on the walls there, like 3D printed items and that, kind of like what's behind my shoulder right now. All of that has to come down. There's going to be a mess. Just no way that you put it. They actually supposedly clean up. Yeah, do they really? I'm worried about the dust going through the whole house from all of this, because there will be dust. There will be dust. So, but it'll be, when it's all over with and all in, I'm hoping that we'll be very, very pleased. We need to be very, very pleased with what it's going to cost. Okay, and speaking of fixing things up, remember that table runner, Canada Day table runner, that I said I was going to maybe give as a gift to this thing we're going to later this week. But I had appliqued a couple of pieces on the front of it, and I wasn't happy with the way that I appliqued them because it was raw edge and they fray a little bit. I fixed that. Yep, I fixed it. And it came out fine. I did a very fine blanket stitch all the way around those pieces. Yes, it came through on the other side because why wouldn't it? But I matched the thread up in the bottom bobbin to match the backing, and you can see the stitching, but it looks like it's part of the design on the back. So I am giving it as a gift now, because I am happy with it. I am secure that with the idea that it is secure. So, if they wash it, it's not going to all fall to pieces on them. So, yeah. So I was proud of myself for being able to do that. And what else has been going on? Well, of course, this was Pride weekend in Toronto, the huge parade. We do not go to that parade. As you heard me mention earlier and on Stephen and Walter Live, I call it a bit of a freak show. It's not a freak show to me, but to all the people who come out, and there are 1.7 million spectators, over 200,000 marchers in this year's parade. That is huge. And that's why we don't go, because it's just far too many people. You can't move. And I am claustrophobic. And if you get me in the middle of a huge crowd of people, I go animal. I start to rip out jugglers on there and poke out eyes and everything in my mad rush to get it to a spot where I have air. And I'm not really exaggerating that by much, okay? If you're claustrophobic, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So we don't bother to go because you can't see anything, because everybody along the parade route, and the parade route runs several miles long, it's like 10, 12, 20 people deep. If you want to see the actual parade, you need to reserve your spot. Well, what I mean by that is you need to go first thing in the morning. The parade's not until the mid-afternoon. Plant a lawn chair down there or whatever. Plant your body there, because there isn't really any room for a lawn chair either. And not move from that spot for, about 8 hours before the parade starts. And even then, and ask me how I know this, even then, you will have people suddenly, at the last minute, will crowd up against the barrier fences they put along each side of the street, and they will push right in front of you. And their pretense is, I'm just going to take a picture. I just need to take a picture. Yeah, and then they stand there forever, and then they ignore you. Excuse me, you're in my spot. It's like you're invisible. And then there's the drunks, okay? And they're everywhere. Yes, it's illegal to drink out on the street, but that doesn't stop people. They do it anyways. And there's so many people, the cops and the security team that they have working the parade route, they can't do anything. They don't even try because it's futile. There's just too many people there. So, yeah, it isn't really a pleasant experience. There is definitely an excitement in the air, though, in it. And I think all the straight people come to it because they like a party. And especially this year, there hasn't been a Pride Parade in 2 years because of COVID. So, yeah, they're all there to have a good time. Now, many of them are allies, and they're there to support the LGBTQ community. But others are just there, and they bring small children to this. Small children in strollers, okay? They bring them in. They're like 2, 3 years old. They're screaming, they're crying because they're not used to probably being around that many people either. Why put your children through something like this? And we wonder why so many kids suffer from depression and other mental health issues these days, because they've got stupid parents that put them in an environment that is not conducive to their cognitive development, and these straights come down as well because they want to look at the weird outfits that the queer people are wearing. And yes, there are quite the number of freaky looking people. You've got people wearing leather. You've got people in dresses. You've got people yeah, outlandishly made up for this. It's kind of like gay Halloween in a sense. But I mean, you have to expect that. But that's okay. I can expect that. I know what they are doing. But straight people come and just look at it as a bunch of freaks. And of course, that's what, depending on what their politics are, that's where they start to label um, people of the pride community as, nuts, sluts, and perverts kind of a thing. So, oh yeah, and there is nudity too. Yeah. See, in Ontario, years ago, they passed a law saying that if a woman wishes to go topless in public, in Ontario, anywhere, she may do so. Now, most don't. They might on a beach, but this isn't the south of France here, so you don't see a lot of that. But during Pride, you will see some lesbians or whatever with everything hanging out, and it's not a pretty sight. I'm sorry, it is not pretty. And you'll find a few of the guys. There is a group called TNT Men, Toronto, Totally Naked Toronto or something. This is a club of nudists, men, who just like to get out there and strut their stuff. And they're walking in the parade, and you are seeing things that you weren't meant to see. And I don't understand why it's always the ugly guys that do this. You never see the really cute ones in this way, But anyways, enough about fantasies. But anyways, so we don't go. We don't go to it anymore. So because of all of those things. Also, though, on a very serious note too, and this is a serious note. In Oslo, Norway, this past weekend, they were going to have their Pride Parade, and I think the night before, at one of the popular gay bars that is in Oslo, a guy walked in and shot 2 people to death and wounded 21 others. Now the cops got this guy, but this is like they canceled the Pride Parade. Although from other reports, there was an impromptu, unofficial kind of parade, which, it was a protest where they're saying, we're not going to be intimidated by jerks. But, oh my God. And then when I heard about that, actually, I heard about it, and one of my subscribers sent me some information about it because she lives in Oslo as well. I thought, oh, please, Lord, don't let this happen in Toronto. The Pride Parade in Toronto is famous for how calm it usually is, how there is a lack of criminality happening at that kind of thing. And, 1.7 million lining the street, it would be so easy for somebody with a gun to, create havoc, to say the least. But I didn't hear anything. I did look on the news feeds and things like that last night, and I didn't find anything that said anything horrible had happened. So we'll see on the news today, in the aftermath, whether anything really took place. But that is so horrible in Oslo. I feel so much for those people. I mean, even if they were people who weren't, didn't actually get in the line of fire, there's going to be trauma for them for years and years and years. Now, they did get the guy. The cops got him, which usually when you hear about things like this, the cops just go in and shoot him. But in Oslo, I guess, what do you call it? More stable minds were in place there. However, they have known about this guy. He's been on their watch list or something since 2015. So they knew they had a powder keg. And he got in there and did what he did. It doesn't give me a whole lot of faith in our law enforcement. Well, I don't have a lot of faith in our law enforcement anyways, at least here in this country. with everything that they've done for him, from being sexist to being anti-gay to being just assholes, really. Yeah. It's really hard in this day and age with the actions that the police have taken to really feel sympathetic for them. I am sure there are lots of good cops out there, but there's a lot of bad ones too, or just inefficiency in their organization as well. I mean, we do pay them through our tax dollars, and we do expect a certain level of security and, assistance with the criminal element in our society. And I don't think we're getting our money's worth. I really don't. So anyways, so sorry to the people in Oslo for that. Our hearts go out to you. And yeah, I don't know. Just hope it doesn't happen again anywhere else. Okay, so that was a downer, wasn't it? So here's something that might lift your spirits. I did do a little video insert about our dishwasher, the Saga of the dishwasher. The start of this video clip does not start off really nice. You hear me seething about an issue that Walter had when he was trying to get an extra part for the new dishwasher for installing it. And the dishwasher basically was delivered at noon on Friday. At 7:30 that night, it was installed. Yeah, you'll hear all about that.
So the dishwasher arrived about half an hour ago while Walter was out looking for a hose that he needs to make this installation work properly. He went to Home Depot. Home Depot claimed they had 10 of them in stock, but the stupid idiots at Home Depot didn't seem to know where they might be. Walter got very frustrated with them and left. However, if I had been there, that wouldn't have happened because, and right now I'm seething over this, for inefficiency, again, in companies, that first of all, he goes up to, they tell him in the aisle, they don't know what he's talking about, go up and see them at the main desk. He goes to the main desk, somebody there who's supposed to be helping customers, having a personal conversation with somebody. Walter did politely interrupt the conversation and turned around, and they told him, oh yeah, go back down the aisle, those guys can help you. Walter told them he'd already been there. They sent him up there. At that point, I would have said, get somebody who knows what they're doing and bring them up here. I'm not moving until you do. But no, he goes back down. Guy looks around, sees a bunch of boxes way up on a top shelf, but don't have any markings on them. Could have been the part, but Walter left. I would not have left. I would make that asshole climb to the top, start looking over those boxes and opening up every goddamn box until he found the part that they're supposed to have. So we're now looking for this part, and I am seething. So here's the mess we call the new dishwasher, as Walter has been fighting with this for like all day, trying to install it. And the instructions that came with it are like, well, none. And on their website, equally not as informative. And it has this little junction box, which we knew about because this is a Bosch, and Bosch are made in Europe. And it has good ratings as dishwashers go, but it has this stupid little conversion box, which Walter now has wired up. But he has to figure out where he's going to put it in that hole, which is where the dishwasher goes. And of course, if we had bought this in the States, we wouldn't need this little junction box because they have made it designed for the American system, which is what we have in Canada. So where is the intelligence there? There isn't any. It's just stupid. So it's been 2 or 3 hours since I recorded this earlier, and look, Walter's still working on this
methodical when I do this, and of course it doesn't help when Steve screws up things.
I didn't screw up anything. The robo did. Walter had a string or something underneath the sink to pull something or other through.
So, to pull through to this other side because this is a weird cabinet and it goes crooked. So I have to have a guide for me to pull the hoses through. And so I'm I pulled two separate strings through last night. I even tied them off on a piece of electrical plate so that somebody couldn't just pull them through from one side to the other, which happened earlier yesterday.
I wonder who did that.
And-
Oops.
And then I go to pull these two items through the cabinet, and I find that the string's all twisted, really bad.
I didn't do that.
Right? And I'm going, how the hell? Last night I pulled them through, they were fine. How the hell did they get twisted? Right? So I find out that
I didn't do it. It wasn't
I
me.
spent half an hour trying to untwist them.
It wasn't me.
And
Wasn't me.
no,
It's-
wasn't you, but you could.
It was the robo, because the robo was
Yeah, robo.
vacuuming the floor and I didn't hear the robo, and I figured it was caught somewhere or was hiding, and I found it in the hole, this hole down in here. And when I went to pull him out, he was a bit tangled up because he had taken the string and wrapped it around on its brushes. So I unwrapped it and everything and sent him on his merry little way. Little did I know that it was going to cause this kind of dilemma. There weren't any instructions. There wasn't any forewarning. I don't know. It's a string on the floor. What else? The robo thought, well, that should be something I should pick up. It tried, and then it got strangled in it. But meanwhile, so here we are with the dishwasher, and the little thing didn't click. It was a thing that you plug into it. It was the power cord business. It was supposed to click. It doesn't click, but it seems to be in there okay. We have a feeling that maybe on another model it clicks. On this model, there is no click. We don't know. Maybe we should have hired people to install it. I don't know.
Well, it would have been faster, but at least now I know how to uninstall it.
Oh, and to follow up on the first part of this video where I said that the part that Walter wanted to get, couldn't get, and the problem with Home Depot, well, he finally got one, but he had to travel all over Hell's Half Acre to get that. Nothing's easy. You know, this damn thing better do what it's supposed to do. We have an extended warranty on it. We have we bought a 4-year extended warranty that seems to cover everything according to it. If we have any problems with it whatsoever, it has a good rating, but we'll see. But all I can say is after all this hell, it better be working or there'll be somebody pay for this. So I'll come back, 2 or 3 days from now, whenever this thing gets put into underneath the
You
sink.
may have to cut the floor too. I haven't figured that out yet.
Oh, good God. So we're on the last legs of this installation. Let's see. The dishwasher arrived at noon. It is now 6:58.
Let's just say we're not the most efficient installers.
We should have hired. We had the ability to do so. We didn't do it because we are men. And we know how to put these things together. And when I say we, I mean Walter. I haven't got a bloody clue. I would have hired out. And I think we said that the last time we got a dishwasher and we installed it ourselves too. We don't remember things well at our age. But it's coming. Hope to hell it works and doesn't leak. Okay, so after 7.5 hours, the dishwasher is now installed. And it's running right now. We put a couple of things in. We're watching it to make sure there aren't any leaks. So far, so good. That's a good thing. It's a little noisy, but not that noisy. And I don't think it's any noisier than our old one. At least it doesn't rattle this one, and at least this one works. So that's good. It'll take a little time to get used to this. Little different configuration inside for loading things up. It has this little light down at the bottom, this little red light. That's kind of interesting. That's so you know when the dishwasher's on, I guess, or it's in its cycles. That light is on. If that light's off, I guess it means it's off. I don't know. There are a bunch of different cycles on this that you can use. I have it on auto right now, which supposedly detects the level of dirtiness of your dishes and adjusts its cleaning time or whatever accordingly. Yeah, we'll see how that works out. So yeah, after a lot of cursing, a lot of swearing and whatnot, next one,
professionals.
Okay, so what's coming up? Well, I've already mentioned Craft and Chat on July the 6th. Details are in the show notes. We're going to a party. I'm a little apprehensive. It's an outdoor party. I hope the day is nice. There could be quite a few people at this party. This is a party that some friends of ours throw every year on Canada Day. But of course, the last couple of years, it has been a no-go. And so I'm kind of looking forward to it because I haven't been out to socialize with people in ages. But I'm a little, you don't know what their status is. You don't know who they've seen and all that kind of stuff. And that's paranoia. Thank you, COVID, for that. I mean, I'm claustrophobic and now I'm paranoid. Yeah, I'm a mess. But we're going, and it's funny. You're supposed, it's a BYOB and bring your own lawn chair kind of a thing, but they do all the food. Well, they have an industrial size deep fryer, the kind of thing they use in restaurants, that they have set up in their garage. And they deep fry everything. You name it. It's been deep fried and they put it out for you to eat. And oh my God, it's really interesting. It's all very tempting. It looks delicious. And your arteries just harden instantly with all of this. So we're going to take a veggie tray. So there's an alternative to some of this as well. But it should be a lot of fun. So I am kind of looking forward to it and have to play it safe as we can. I mean, I've had 4 shots, but that's not a cure. That's just, you know what it is. Anyways, that's coming up too. And of course, the International Stitch Marathon, which is July the 22nd. Again, details are in the show notes. So that's about it for me this week. I think this one was a little longer with the little video clips that I've put in here as well. So if you fell asleep, I'm sorry. Or maybe you needed to fall asleep, catch up on it, whatever. So you're welcome if you needed that. But anyways, Idiot Quilter episode will go up tomorrow, as well as I did a video about how I make videos. Yeah. I've had a few people ask me what I use as equipment and things like that. So I thought I'd give you a behind scenes look. But that is about a half an hour video. So it's going up as a separate clip on my YouTube. And that will be tomorrow as well. And then later in the week, So Chatty. And then we're back to Stephen and Walter Live on Sunday. So I hope everybody has a great week. If you're Canadian, happy Canada Day this coming Friday. If you're an American, happy 4th of July, Independence Day on the following Monday. So lots of parties. Summer's here. Woo! Have a good one. Bye for now.